Okay, perfect. So we are recording. All right, guys, I'm super excited that you guys took the time tonight to hop on my Zoom. And if you see me looking this way, I have another screen with my notes on it because I tried to get organized for this. So I would be short, sweet, and to the point and not keep you guys here all night because I could talk for hours. So I wanted to talk to you guys mostly about signing distributors, and then at the end you can do, I'm going to do Q&A, and you can ask any kind of question you want. It doesn't have to be distributor related. But I decided to do this Zoom randomly on Friday afternoon. I signed 4 distributors before 10 a.m. Friday morning, and none of them were previous potentials that I followed up with on follow-up Friday. And I figured, you know, maybe I should share what I'm doing with other people so they could do it too, because it's obviously working for me, and we're one team, one mission. So I like to share all my tips with y'all. So the first thing that I do, and everybody's different, obviously we all work our businesses differently, but the thing that I personally do is I work my business 98%, 99% on Facebook alone. I don't work any Instagram. If I post something to Instagram, it's fed over to my Facebook page, so it's the same thing. I don't sit here and work 2 different social media platforms. At the same time, I don't message people on Instagram, so I literally don't work my Instagram. So if you want to take this and turn it into something you can do on your Instagram, you're more than welcome to, but everything that I'm going to talk about is what I do on my Facebook page, and it's what I do on my personal page. I do not have a business page that I work regularly for this at all. I work everything on my personal page. The reason that I do that is because when you have a business page, and we're going to start out pretty blunt, when you have a business page, you literally have to pay like $600 or $700 a month in order to get your post boosted to get any interest. You can boost a post and pay $20, and guess what? Nothing's going to happen. Facebook is basically taking your money and putting it in their pocket. So if you're not willing to fork out $600, $700, $800 a month, which I'm not, to get a post boosted to maybe get 5 people to comment on it that you've never talked to before, it's not worth it. So if you're only working your business on a Facebook business page, you're hurting yourself. You need to be working everything 100% from your personal page. The reason being is, A, it shows that you're a real person. It's not computer generated. People actually are able to go in and friend you instead of just liking a page, so they know you're legit. Second, it shows that you have a life. You're not just business, 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 because your business page is basically your it works posts. You're not showing anything about your life in general. So like Melissa's not posting about her puppies on a business page, so people don't know that she actually has a life outside of it work. So that's why it's such a big deal not to have that, because you want it to be personable at the same time. So on Facebook, what I do is everything is relatable. We have something that's called attraction marketing, and if you've never heard of that, it's a really great term to Google later on. But basically, attraction marketing is whenever you post something and people are attracted to it. So if you're scrolling Facebook and you see somebody posted a dress and you're like, ooh, that's really cute, and then you looked at the link to see where they bought it, you're attracted to that. It's attraction marketing. You know, it's the same thing as when you're shopping at Target or Walmart or the grocery store and you pull up into the little aisle to start putting your stuff on the whatever that's called, and you see all the candy bars and the gum and the little hand sanitizers and the lip balms and the gift cards and that's attraction marketing. That is the store attracting you to pick up that extra stuff to spend money. They're getting you impulse, which means they're getting you excited.
And so that's where Sephora gets you.
Yes, yes. So the same thing is true when you're talking about your business on Facebook, is you want it to attract people. So posting things like, let me Google it on my phone and show you, because you'll totally know what I'm talking about as soon as I show this to you. So posting things like this. All I had to do was Google, it works, work from home, and this stuff pops up. If you're posting anything like this, that's bad. That's very, very bad. Like, go to your Facebook album and delete this stuff. If anybody goes to your albums later and they see things like this, that's bad. right? Join my team. Only $99. It's easy. Work the hours you want. Make the money you deserve. Be the mom you want to be. Like all of that stuff. Bye. Bye-bye right now. Go clean it out right now. Right? That's the type of thing you don't want to post. That right there is salesy. That's like when you go to the car dealership to browse and you literally park the car and 5 salesmen come running out to greet you, right? That's like that. That's how it is to people. So you don't want to post anything like that at all. Everything that you post, you want it to be relatable. So you want to be real. You want to be relatable. You want to talk to people like you're a normal person. So for instance, something I did today that got me, I have 17 new potentials in my inbox right now that are going bonkers that I need to catch up with after this. I showed them 9 credit cards that I paid off, and I had a cutting party live on Facebook. Literally, here it is. All my credit cards that I cut up today on Facebook Live, showing them because these are all cards that I paid off with money I made from It Works, and showing them, you know, this is real. This is something that you can do. It's something that people relate to. I mean, I don't know the exact statistics, but there's millions of people who have credit card debt, and they're drowning in debt from just credit cards. They don't have student loans. They may not have a car payment, but their credit card debt is like $40,000 to $50,000 easily, you know? And so that's something that people can relate to. So talking about that and how it was my reality before is something that literally it generated so much like response from people that I literally had people like begging me to join my team after that, because it's absolutely insane how many people can relate to that. You know, we say when you first start, talk about what this business is going to do for you. So when I first joined the business, I didn't necessarily have money to pay off debt. I wasn't showing that. But what I was telling people when I talked to them in person and when I was posting on social media is, you know what, I joined this business to give me and my son a better life, to pay off debt, to provide for him, you know, things like that. I talked about what it was going to do for me until it actually did it. And so that's something to talk about too. Be relatable. Things that people can relate to right now is like buying groceries, getting gas. When I first joined this business, right before I joined the business, my mom actually had given me one of her credit cards, and she was putting gas in my car because I couldn't afford to put gas in my car to go to job interviews. I literally had no money. So that's something that a lot of people can relate to. They can't put a full tank of gas in their car. They can only put like $5 here or $10 there. They can't go and put $25 into the gas tank. So if you sold a wrap, share that. And you know what? If you haven't sold a wrap, fake it till you make it. You know, you'll hear that a lot. Take a picture of your Blitz card in front of the gas pump and say, you know what? It Works pays for my gas. Or you know what? I can sell one wrap and get a tank of gas. And just talk about it. You know, it's possible to do that. And so you could talk about, you know what? If I sell one wrap, it's going to fill my whole tank up with gas. At least in my car it does. $25 is a full tank for me. So I don't know about everybody, but so that's something that people can relate to though, because they can't put gas in their cars. So definitely being real, being relatable. Let's see. Something that my sister taught me when we first joined this business, and she was learning everything and then relaying it onto me because I'm so not a green. She taught me that, and she's on here. Hi, Amanda. Anyway, so your profile should not be 100% just It Works related. It Works should be the commercials to your life. So when people go in and they scroll your Facebook, and I know we are all guilty of this, so after this Zoom, I want you to go to Facebook and just scroll your own page. Take 5 minutes and scroll through it and look. Is your Facebook, It Works, It Works, It Works, It Works, It Works, It Works? Or is it like this morning this, and then I did this at lunch, and then this after work, and in between that you have your It Works posts? Because your It Works posts are supposed to be like the commercials to your life. So you have to show people outside of your It Works posts that you're real and relatable still. You're a real person. You have a real life, and you have to share that with people. And then in between that, you have to show the exact same thing in your It Works post. I'm real. I get gas at the gas pump, but you know what? It Works paid for it. That's my It Works post. But after that one, I'll post something like, oh, well, off to the park with my son, and then show like a clip about him playing or something, you know, whatever it may be. So that way it's not 100% just It Works. It's basically your life with commercials for It Works in between, because you're getting paid to advertise for It Works, basically. If you notice, there are other network marketing companies out there that do have commercials. They do have billboards. And guess what? Their compensation plan, I used to be part of one of them. And that's how it is. They don't pay their distributors very well at all, because they spend all this money to advertise for the company. And instead, It Works is turning that back on us. So we have one of the best compensation plans out there. I mean, literally, I think it is the best for all the ones that I have seen, because we're the advertisement for It Works. So your commercials is your advertisement. That's what you're getting paid to do. At the same time, on your profile, your Facebook picture, your profile picture should not be It Works related. And your cover photo should not always be an It Works photo. I mean, you should go in and change your cover photo here and there over time. You shouldn't keep the same one for forever. Whenever you give your page a facelift, people go in and check it out. So whenever they see, oh, Melissa updated her cover photo, they're going to go check it out. You know, they're going to go back to Melissa's page and see what's going on over there. Because usually your cover photo, when you change it, will pop up in people's newsfeed sporadically. Whether you've played the algorithm right or not, it'll randomly pop up like that. So you want to change your cover photo regularly. And then same thing, your profile picture. If it's in It Works, if it's you all decked out in It Works gear, or it says like It Works across the top, go ahead and change that to something normal. Change it to something, I mean, wearing our gear is normal for us, but you know what I mean. Change it to something that is just like a photo of you, or you and your kids, or you and your family, you know, something that shows that you're a real person. And then on the little thing on our Facebook, let me show you mine, where it says like your About Me or whatever at the very top, this little thing right here, that's right under your profile picture. There's kind of a glare. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's literally right under your profile picture. So mine says, boy mom, PhD student, top income earner, business owner, and inventor. Not once do I say It Works distributor. My About Me doesn't say It Works anything in it, because I'm technically a business owner and I'm proud of my business. I have it listed all over my profile, but I don't need to plaster it in people's faces at the same time. If they're looking at my profile, they'll see my business. And so putting what's real in your life, like a boy mom, a student, a business owner, that's showing that you're a real person. You're not just a salesman, you know, because we aren't salespeople. I hate salespeople. And I have turned people away from joining my team because they are that salesman mentality. And I don't want that. I want people who are real, who are relatable, who you can actually have a conversation with, as if they're like your best friend. Think of it as if you're talking to your best friend, you know? You want it to be like, you don't want it to be like a freaking, like an advertisement right across the front page of your profile. You want it to be relatable. No, Danny, I don't think saying I am Diamond is a bad idea on your profile picture, because it's not specifically like throwing It Works in people's faces. So the reason why I say that with your profile picture is when you're sending friend requests out and you're building your network, which I'm going to go over that in a little bit. The first thing that people see when you send a friend request is your profile picture. And people are so wary about adding people in network marketing now, because so many people spam with messages and cold messaging, which I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. And so that's why people won't add you as a friend, whether you know them from high school or from work or not. They won't add you as a friend because they don't want you to send them one of those messages. Even though you probably don't, they're scared that you will. As soon as they accept your friend request, they're scared that you're going to do that. And so that's why showing that you're a real person and you're not just like a direct sales person, it's more likely that you're going to get your friend requests accepted when growing your network. What else? Also on your Facebook page for attraction marketing, you want to be professional at all times. You don't want to be negative in any way, okay? You want to keep all negativity off of it. If possible, keep all politics off of it, anything like that. You just want to not even bother. Like, you can have your opinion, good for you, wonderful, great. You could have the worst day of your life. You know what? Sorry about you, but you don't need to plaster it all over your Facebook page. Okay, you don't know how many times that I got messages in February because I left my ex-boyfriend in the beginning of January and I moved into an apartment, but I didn't plaster any of that on Facebook and nobody knew anything except family and close friends. And I would do live videos and they would see my apartment in the background and somebody would message me and be like, did you move? And then I'd be like, oh yeah, well, this is what happened. You know, it wasn't a secret, but plastering my breakup all over Facebook, unnecessary. That would have hurt my business in so many ways. You know, even though I did it because it made my business healthier to be with somebody who is 100% supportive. In the long run, it made my business thrive more, but plastering a breakup all over Facebook, totally unnecessary. You know, same thing. You get in a fight with your significant other, doesn't need to be on Facebook. You know, you have a bad day, doesn't need to be on Facebook. You don't need to sit there and complain on Facebook or point out horrible things that happen to you. Those are things that you need to find a friend to vent to and then put your big girl panties on and get over it. You know, you don't need to vent about stuff on Facebook. So keep the negativity off. I keep clear of all politics and stuff like that. Same thing, if somebody makes a negative comment on any of my stuff, I don't sit here. I don't dwell on it. I delete it. If they need to be blocked, the person gets blocked. Bye, Felicia. I ain't got time for that. On to the next. So don't let the negative comments that people put on stuff bother you either. Just remove it and move on. Okay. So that's just the basics of Facebook. And I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of stuff about that. I'm going to talk more about signing distributors, but I think attraction marketing and attracting people to your business comes a lot if you're working your business on social media like I do, because they're attracted to what you're showing them and they're attracted to that image that they see and they relate to you. So you want to be real, you want to be relatable. When you're talking to people, so like somebody messages you or comments on one of your posts, you know, you post something about being able to put gas in your car. And somebody's like, oh, I would love to be able to do that. Like their comment and then send them a message. Don't have a whole conversation in your comments because then you're leaving no mystery to the other people that are watching. And people are watching. I will guarantee you that. People are watching your posts. And if you have a whole conversation in there with somebody and you give all of the information out there right in the open, they will never once comment on your stuff and you won't even know that they're interested. So you want it to be, I don't want to say like a mystery, but you want to have a conversation with them one-on-one and be more personable that way instead of on your Facebook thread. So whenever you're talking to them, you want to talk to them like they're a normal person. You want to talk to them as if you're talking to your best friend, okay? So you don't want to talk to them like a salesperson. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're trying to help them change their life. In the long run, that's what this is all about, is changing lives. So since we're not salespeople, we don't want to talk like salespeople. We want to be relatable. You want to be real. You want to talk to them like you're normal. If you don't want to be sold, then don't try to sell it. I don't remember what her name is. First name is Jessica with the red hair. That's all I can remember. She gives us, Amanda, I saw you voice it. What's her name? Anyway.
Jessica Pearson.
Pearson, thank you. Cannot remember her last name. But anyways, she gives the perfect analogy of if I go into the store and somebody tries to sell me a sweater, I'm not going to buy the sweater. I'm either going to buy the sweater because I want it, not because they're coming over here and pushing it on me. And I like to think of that as my business too. People are going to join your business because they want to join your business and they like you, not because they necessarily just want to join It Works for no reason. You know, so you don't need to sell people on the business. You just need to talk to them. You need to relate to them. If people come back at you and they feel comfortable talking to you, then that's when you're going to have a full on, it's going to be like a 5 billion messages going back and forth. They're going to feel comfortable asking you questions, things like that. Something that I like to take full advantage of when I'm talking to distributors, and some of you on here I've signed, so you know what I'm talking about. I take full advantage of voice memos or voice messages where you just record yourself talking, because you're able to share your excitement, one, and you're able to show that you are genuinely concerned or genuinely like interacting with them, not just like a copy paste response. And if you're using a copy paste response for stuff, people can see that. People know, oh, she just copy and pasted that, because it's probably something that didn't take you as long to type as it did to copy and paste. So they're like, yeah, there's no way she typed all that up in 2 seconds. And B, it's not really relating directly to what they're talking about. So if you do a voice message, people can actually hear your voice. They can hear your feeling. They hear your passion. And when you're passionate about something, it'll feed through in your messages that way. And that's what I like to do with people, is send voice messages. So if you look at all my messages between me and a potential, they'll type out their question or whatever to me, and then my response is always a voice memo. And then they type something out, and then my response is always a voice memo. It's faster. I can talk to 7 distributors in the same amount of time I can talk to 2 potential distributors by using voice memos. But B, it's relating to them and showing that I'm having a conversation with them. I may be talking to 7 people at once, but my conversation at that moment is directed directly towards them. And so that way they know I'm not just copy, paste, move on to the next. They know that I'm actually caring about them, about their concerns, about their questions. And so sometimes I might have to repeat the answer 6, 7, 8 times in a day. But you know what? It's worth it in the long run when 5 out of those 7 sign up to be distributors. Excuse me. So that's something that I really, really, really love on Facebook, is voice memos. So something else that I like to do when I'm talking to potential distributors is I like to think of the reason why they decided to talk to me instead of one of the 140,000 other It Works distributors in the world. If I look around, I'm like, okay, why did I message Melissa to sign up instead of one of the other girls on my Facebook page? Because I do know a couple distributors, but I messaged Melissa. Why did I message Melissa? What was the reason that I felt more comfortable going to her? Or I felt like if I were in a room full of distributors, why did I pick that person? So think about it. When you're talking to your potential distributors, why are they going to pick you? Is it because you're able to talk to them and you understand what they're going through? For instance, I'm a single mom. I had my son on the same night I went Diamond. So I've raised a newborn baby and worked a business at the same time. I can talk to other moms about working their business and having kids. You know, I can do that. My sister, she's a nurse. And she worked 2 full-time jobs and worked her business at the same time. She can talk to potentials who have busy schedules, and they totally 100% relate to her. I have a harder time relating to people like that than I do to moms. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, people pick you for a reason. Whatever you're showing them on your social media feed, and whatever you send them back when they ask you a question, that's what's making them pick you, you know? So when I messaged Melissa, I first messaged Melissa because she was my college roommate, but I stayed with Melissa and signed up with Melissa because she was genuinely there for me to answer every question, and she didn't make it feel like I was bothering her, or she didn't make it feel like it was a hassle to repeat an answer. She made it feel like I was one person instead of one of 5, if that makes any sense. So that's why I actually signed up with Melissa. It wasn't because I only knew her as my college roommate. It was because she actually made me feel like an individual, and she actually put in the effort to answer questions and seemed real and genuine with me. I did another network marketing company before It Works, and I never named names to anything, so I won't do that. But what I learned when I signed up with the person I signed up with, it wasn't genuine. I was just a number to them. And they literally would hound me for orders, and they would hound me for numbers, basically. I wasn't a teammate. It wasn't genuine. And so when I was looking at joining a network marketing company for a second time to give it a second go around, I was looking for something genuine, something where I was a person, not a number. And that's how Melissa made me feel. And that's why I enrolled with her rather than finding someone else. So, yeah, short story. So give people a reason to want to sign up with you rather than finding another distributor out there in the world. I had a lady sign up this month already who told me, you know what, I have 7 or 8 really good friends that sell this product, but I want to enroll with you because you're passionate about what you do. And you put it all out there in the open, and you've answered every question I've ever sent your way. And I've talked to this lady like for 7 months now, and she enrolled. And that was her reason for enrolling with me rather than enrolling with one of her good friends on Facebook. She said that I showed my passion, and she wanted to be on a team with someone who's passionate about what they do. So she knew she was going to be with somebody who's going to lead her. So that kind of made me feel pretty pumped up and excited, because that's what my goal is to stand out to people. So when they have the option of signing with 7 other people, they come to me for a reason. They don't just come to me because they picked a name out of a hat. So being upfront and honest with them, you shouldn't have to sell yourself, and you shouldn't have to sell the business. So whenever somebody's like, oh, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just think about it, I guess I'll get back to you. And oh, I hate those, especially when they're voice memos and they sound like that, like, oh, well, I don't know. Anyway, so whenever somebody gives me a response like that, I'm just like, okay, girl, no problem. Take some time, think about it. We can totally chat later. I'll check in with you in a couple days. I don't sit there. I'm like, oh, well, what's holding you back? Why aren't you starting? Oh my gosh, what can I do to get you started? You know, like, they don't want to hear that. They want to think about it. And you know what? It's nice to have the option to come back to them in a couple days, you know, and I even tell them, that's totally fine, girl. Take a couple days to think about it. I'll check in with you later. And I tell them I'm going to check back in with them, so that when I follow up later, they're already expecting my message. And we were on a Zoom the other night, and I got this amazing tip that I actually started using today. And I got 3 people who hadn't responded to any of my follow-ups in probably about 8 months, and they did today off of this. And the girl's tip, she went presidential last month, and her tip was, whenever somebody reads your message and you see their little head bubble pop down and you're like, oh, you've read my message and you're not responding, and you get so frustrated, send them a GIF. And she used the one of like the Cookie Monster or whatever, who like looks up and he's like, I see you, you know, send them one of those. It's hilarious. You know, it's going to make them laugh. And then chances are they'll probably respond back like, oh, ha, I read it, but totally like lost track of time, or, you know what, something happened and I didn't get a response out. So today I decided, you know what, I'm going to give that a shot, because it was a good tip that a top leader passed on. And I did it, and I actually got 3 of them who haven't responded in about 8 or 9 months to actually respond by sending them one of those funny gifts. So just a random tangent I went off on. But if you have to sell yourself, then it's not the right fit, guys. I know we don't want to hear that, because we want to sign, enroll, and have high numbers. But if you're literally having to beg somebody to join your team, they're not going to do anything. You know, they're going to join the team because they want to join your team. They want to get started. They want to make money. Those are the people you want, because those are the people who are going to start working. If you have to beg someone to sign up, and you literally are like chasing them down and hounding them and selling them on this, and you're not passionate, and you're not showing that it's real, and you're not being upfront and honest, those are the people who are going to enroll just to shut you up so you'll go away, and they never do anything. And they just sit there and they frustrate you. And you get so annoyed, because you're like, oh my gosh, they're not doing anything. They didn't sign any customers. I placed 4 under them. You know, those are those ones that you're going to get frustrated with. Don't chase them. Don't try to sell them. Be real. Be upfront. Be honest. I wrote notes, so I'm skimming because I talk forever. So your confidence and your energy literally is your selling point, I guess you could say. So having passion, showing that you're confident, having energy, that's what's going to like bring somebody to you, and that's what's going to attract them to want to join your team. Something that I found that I am totally guilty of, so I know other people are too, is the copy-paste method. Somebody told me once that it's totally fine to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And so I would go through and I'm like, well, I don't have time to think of a post. So I'm just going to go over here, find this top leader, copy theirs, change a couple of words and paste it. But you know what? That doesn't really work. It's great to get an idea from someone else for a post, but just doing a copy, change a few words and paste doesn't necessarily work because the passion from that post comes from the person who originally posted it. You can't share that person's passion as your own because it's not your passion. And so your confidence isn't going to ring through the exact same way that it did for that person who originally posted it. So I know we always say don't copy paste exactly because of the algorithm, but at the same time, if you're going to copy and paste directly, you're not showing your true passion and your true confidence in your post. You're trying to sell someone else's passion as your own. And that totally reads through to people. You know, if it doesn't sound like you, then people are like, yeah, she just found that somewhere. Like, that's totally not Melissa in that post. Like, you know, people who stalk your page and people who know you personally know when something is like yours, like you legitimately wrote it, and know when you kind of found it somewhere else. So it's always good to kind of be yourself and show your passion. And you know what, even if you're brand new and this is something that you struggle with, if it takes you 20 minutes to write a damn good post, then good for you. And I'm proud of you because it's so easy to take 5 seconds and go and copy, paste, and post and then get frustrated when you don't get likes or you don't get comments. And I mean, sometimes you'll get a like or a comment here and there, but if you take the time to pour yourself into your stuff, you'll get so much more out of it. And so I have gotten off the copy paste train. I got off at the last stop. Yeah. Also, your mindset has everything to do with all of your success. And we preach this and preach this and preach this. And I will be the first person to tell you that it is true because I took a nosedive last year for a couple months and literally my enrollments went bam. And as soon as I got my head out of my butt and got my mindset back straight, I was signing 20, 30 enrollments a month. Melissa, was it December that I had one a day or January? I don't know. December. So it was December where I had one enrollment a day for the whole month. And you know what? That was, I think it was October or November when I literally got my head out of my butt and set myself straight. And December I took off. And then January I did the same thing. I did like 28 enrollments in January. And I remember telling Melissa that I was pissed because it wasn't one a day. And she was like, okay, you need to chill out. And so it was just like getting my mindset straight. If you don't think you can do it, then you're not going to do it. If you sit here and you're like, there's no way I'm going to sign distributors, I can't sign 4 distributors in a morning, then you're never going to sign 4 distributors in a morning because you're sitting there and you're telling yourself that you can't do it. If you're sitting there and you're like, man, I wish I could go diamond in 90 days, but it's not really likely, I don't think I can, well, then you're never going to do it because you're flat out setting yourself up for failure. If you tell yourself, you know what, I'm a badass and I'm going to go sign 4 distributors tomorrow morning, and you live off that passion and you're just ignorance on fire, then it's going to happen. But you have to get your head out of your butt and get your mindset straight. So if you're not doing self-development and you're not talking yourself up, then there's a problem there. I can't remember what the saying is, but basically if you tell yourself you're a queen, you're a queen, you know, think about it. So if you're telling yourself that you're a badass in this business and you're going to be a top income earner, then you are. And I remember they announced the cruise last year in May. And when they announced the cruise and Mark said the top 150 income earners get a suite and a free guest pass. And I messaged Melissa and I told her, I'm going to be a top 150 income earner. And I was so far off from being that, like so far off. And I remember every day I got in my car and I had a sticky note like this, a green sticky note on my steering wheel. And it said top 150. And I had a sticky note on my bathroom mirror. And I had a sticky note literally everywhere on my washer and dryer, on the refrigerator. And they all just said top 150, top 150, top 150. And every day I told myself, I am a top 150 income earner. And you know, it's funny because I can remember driving and being like, I'm a top 150 income earner. You know, and one of those songs would come on that Mark would always play, like the Don't Believe Me, Just Watch song would come on. I'm like, yeah, because I'm a top 1 income earner. Don't believe me, just watch, you know? And I would drive and I would literally talk to myself and say this stuff. And my boyfriend at the time thought I was crazy. He's like, what the heck are all these sticky notes everywhere for? And what does top 150 even mean? And so I remember literally telling myself that all day, every day, talking to myself in the middle of the grocery store because something would pop out and be like, yep, that's lime green because I'm a top 150 income earner. And I was probably looked like a psycho person, but guess what? I was a top 150 income earner. I got that suite. I got that free guest pass, you know? And so I honestly believe that telling myself every single day that I was a top 150 income earner made it happen. I mean, obviously I worked and I had my team that worked their tail ends off too, and we all did it together. I couldn't do it by myself, but talking the positivity over my business made it happen. So in terms of signing distributors, if you tell yourself, I'm going to sign distributors, I'm going to sign 5 distributors this month, I'm going to fill my whole Ruby chart out this month with distributors, then you're going to do it. But if you tell yourself, well, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to sign 2, or maybe I'll complete my steps to success, or I don't know, that's kind of unlikely, I don't think I can do it, well, then you're not going to be able to do it because your mindset isn't straight. It's not there. You don't believe in yourself. And I tell my team all the time, I can believe in you more than anybody else in the world, but it means jack if you don't believe in yourself. Like, I can't make you believe in yourself. Okay. So one of my favorite things when I'm talking to distributors and they ask me, well, what's in my kit, or what comes with my kit? And forever I would always have the same copy pasted. Well, it's $99 to sign up and you get your business builder kit and it comes with blah, 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 blah. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a copy paste, and I swear we all have it by now. And that used to always be my go-to. And I would always copy and paste that in there, and people would always be like, okay, well, I'll think about it. Or they'd be like, no, I don't know. Or they just wouldn't respond. What I have found now, and this goes back to using voice memos earlier, is that not telling them it's only $99 to sign up. No. So don't give them information they didn't ask for. They didn't ask me, what's the price of the kit? They said, what comes in the kit? Okay, great. Your kit comes with a box of 4 wraps, your marketing materials, your training materials, your website activation, you know, all that stuff. I go through it in the list, but I don't tell them something that they didn't ask me for. So then they're going to say, well, how much is it? Okay, great. I'm glad you asked that question, because it's only 99 bucks to get started, and you actually can make your investment back immediately. I don't tell them how they can make it back until they ask me how, you know, and then that's when they say, well, how do you make it back? And that keeps your conversation rolling. If you put everything out there right in the beginning in that one post, you give them everything that they need right there in the beginning, they have no need to ask you any more questions. They have no need to carry on the conversation. You know, just keeping it real, honest, presentable, confident, but not word vomiting on them either. Only give them stuff that they asked you for. It's the same thing with signing loyal customers. If somebody asks me, hey, can I get more information about the wraps? I'm like, sure, Sarah. So the wraps tighten, tone, and firm any area of the body from the neck down. What area do you want to wrap first? I didn't tell them the price. I didn't tell them anything else. I just, one short sentence. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, I really like to try them on my belly, blah, 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 blah. And then we go from there. And then they'll ask the price. And then that's when I tell them, well, normally you can get a box of 4 for $99. But if you want to sign up as a loyal customer right now, it's only 59 bucks. And I can save you some money right off the bat by waiving your enrollment fee. And they're like, well, what's a loyal customer? And then you go from there. Like, don't give them information they didn't ask you for, because you're just literally just, here you go, bye. It's like handing people, it's like the people on the street, they hand you a brochure and everything's in it, and you may or may not call them later because you're interested, rather than somebody who's like, hey, can you come here real quick? And you start talking to them and you have a conversation with them. It's the same exact thing, you know? So don't give them information that they didn't ask you for ever. Potential customers or distributors. So for people who are newer to the business, in terms of cold messaging, I always tell my team that's a big no-no. Top leaders always teach things differently. It's totally up to you and your leader how they train and how you want to work your business. But what I tell my team is it's a no-no. I don't teach them how to cold message. When they first join the business, I teach them how to message friends and family, and that's it. I tell them, if you don't directly know this person from before, like you didn't, like they're not your mom, your sister, your aunt, your cousin, your best friend, whoever, you know, somebody that you specifically have a relationship with, don't message them. And so then I'll give them their message of what to send their mom, their sister, their cousin, their best friend, and go from there. But if you don't have an actual relationship with somebody, don't message them. Something I hate more than anything is when I get a message from somebody and they're like, hey, I think you'd be really great for my team. And I'm like, well, did you even look at my profile? Like, I'm already on the It Works team with someone else, you know? And I get those, I think I get one a week. And it's super frustrating for me, but can you imagine being somebody who's never asked a question about it and you're getting a message like, hey, I think you'd be super awesome, from somebody that you've never even talked to or you've never even had an interaction with? That's kind of creepy and kind of weird. And so it's kind of like a spam, right? And people get really upset when you cold message them and you don't have a relationship. So what I like to do, and I don't message anybody. Everybody comes to me. And A, that comes from attraction marketing like we talked about earlier. But B, it comes from building a relationship with them on Facebook, by liking stuff that they post, by commenting on things, and like literally putting yourself out there in front of them. And then they'll come to you. You won't ever have to message somebody if you are genuinely building relationships with people. They all come to you. It's not necessarily their job to come to you for their business, but when they see that they need to make some extra money and they get the idea like, hey, I want to try network marketing. Oh, well, that girl over there is super sweet. We're talking back and forth on my photos. She always likes my stuff. You know, she thinks my dog is adorable. Well, then they're more likely to message you rather than Joe Schmo who sends them a spammy message, you know? Think about it. And I always, when I build my relationships, they're genuine relationships. I don't tell somebody that their dog is cute if it's not cute. I mean, I don't go and I don't lie to them, you know? If somebody's like posting like an outfit and I think it's hideous, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's the cutest outfit. Oh my gosh, where'd you buy it? Because it's not genuine. And I don't really think that. So I'm not gonna go and lie to them and portray an image that I don't honestly believe. And it'll probably come across in the way that I'm talking to them later that I didn't really think their outfit was cute, you know? So I always make sure that things that I'm posting and talking about when building relationships with people is actual genuine stuff that I actually care about. If somebody posts about their kid on Facebook and I hate kids, I'm not gonna go comment about how wonderful their kid is. You know, it's the same thing. You're not gonna go and comment about how you love guacamole if you hate avocados. I mean, really. It has to be a genuine response to build a relationship. So when I add people on Facebook, and I'll go into how to build your network in a minute, but when I add people on Facebook that I've never actually met before or we've never even had a connection before, the first thing I do is I'm going to go to their page and I'm going to turn on my notification to follow them, and I always put see first. So when I get a new friend on Facebook, I go to their Facebook page, I click follow, and I put see first. So every time they post something, it's going to be at the top of my newsfeed. And that way, if it's something I like, I can like it. If it's something that I genuinely want to comment on, I will comment on it. Don't just comment on stuff to comment on stuff. Comment on stuff that you really wouldn't normally comment on. And like stuff that you normally would like. You don't have to like everything they post because then that's kind of a creepy person, right? If you've ever opened your notifications and you have 12 notifications from the same person liking stuff, it's a little creepy. But genuinely go in and like stuff, comment on stuff, things like that. It builds a relationship. When they comment back to them. Like they're like, oh, thanks, girl. Then you can come back. No problem. You know, just be yourself. Be genuine. And then, yeah, so that's what I do for all new people I get on Facebook. And it's gets a little overwhelming if you're adding hundreds of people a month. So I will be the first one to tell you that. But at the same time, it's really, really effective because your newsfeed is full of all new people. And if you're playing your Facebook algorithm correctly, which I feel like I never am, but if you're commenting and liking all new people's stuff, then your newsfeed is full of all new other people from those people's feeds. Does that make sense? So you're bringing even more new people onto your site that you could actually talk to, instead of seeing the same 20 people's stuff every single day when you're scrolling Facebook. So the more people's pages that you go to and like things and comment on, the more of a variety that's going to come into your newsfeed that you can interact on, which means the more of a variety of your stuff that's going over to theirs. So you have to play the algorithm a little bit there and realize that if you're liking and commenting the same people's stuff, then that's what you're always going to see, and you're never going to be building relationships with new people because you're not liking and commenting on anything. So in regards to building your network, so one of the things that I started doing in the fourth quarter of last year is really working my Facebook groups. And so I will join a group that is something that I am actually interested in. So like I said, if you don't like avocados, you're not going to go join a Facebook group that's about guacamole. That's like not what you're going to do. If you don't like kids or you don't have kids, you're not going to go join a Facebook group that's a mom's group, you know? If like Melissa has two French bulldogs, two Frenchies, she's going to go join a Frenchie's Facebook page, right? Because that's something she's interested in. My sister is a nurse. She's going to go join nursing pages because that's stuff that she's interested in, or a police wives page because that's what she's interested in. You know, go join groups that are things that you are genuinely interested in. For instance, if you're a military spouse, then go join for here in San Antonio, we have the Lackland Air Force Wives page. Go join the page if you're an Air Force wife. You know, go join pages that are things that you are actually interested in doing or are interested in talking about. So then when you go to the page, A, you're interested in seeing what people are posting, so then you're going to participate on posts. But B, you'll be able to interact and actually have a conversation with people there. So I am in like 5 million moms groups. It's so funny. I am in like the single moms group, the boy mom group, the toddler mom group, the Alamo Ranch area mom group here in San Antonio. I'm in like all these moms groups, and there's different people in every single one of them. Okay. So like the ones that are in my Alamo Ranch area moms group are all in my toddler moms group. They're all different people, right? So I will randomly come up with a question and ask it in my mom's group, you know, and it might be something that I actually want to know the answer to. It might be something that I'm second guessing myself on, but either way, it's a question that I'm going to ask that's relevant to that group. So for instance, I'm starting to potty train my son. I went into every one of my mom's groups and asked for the best potty training tips. I don't know how to potty train, so this is a great opportunity to interact with people. So I went in and I posted a question. And you know what? Those people start commenting. And then I reply back to their comments. And you know what? Next thing I know, I'm getting 5, 6, 7 friend requests off of that one post. Because those are people who want to be my friend now because we've built a relationship off of me asking one question. It's the same thing. When somebody posts something in one of those groups that you're in, and you know the answer, or you have an opinion, or you want to give a tip, or whatever it may be, give it. Comment away and build a relationship with that person. And then after you comment and you build that relationship in there by commenting and getting a response back or whatever, send them a friend request. You're no longer a stranger by sending them a friend request because you've commented on things. You guys are both in the same group and they know your name now. So when you send a friend request, they're probably going to accept it because, you know what, she just helped me out with my question. So it's a great way to build your network that way. Another thing I love, and again, my sister gave me this tip, so she should probably be doing the Zoom, is there's pictures that you can post in group pages that are like, drop your favorite selfie below. Whoever likes it, add them as a friend. And you guys, if you're in groups, you've probably seen one of those because they're the bomb. And even if I haven't posted them in there, several people have. So my sister gave our team that idea like in November. So then in December, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to do something different. So not even looking at anything else, I went to the first page that popped up in my groups, and it was a Gilmore Girls community. And there's like 56,000 people in this page, and I had no idea, and I posted that in there. So then hundreds of comments come in, right, of people's selfies. Well, I'm the person who posted it, so I'm like. So in the month of December, I added over 700 new friends on Facebook from that one group alone because of this crazy post that my sister gave me the idea to do, and I just randomly put it in a group and didn't pay attention to anything else, you know? And so then that's where I say it gets a little overwhelming to see first, because when you're getting 40 or 50 new friend requests a day, you can't see first everybody. So when they pop up in your newsfeed, that you just do your best to build relationships like that. But when you're adding like 5 people a day, when you get 5 new friends a day, you can literally go in and like click on there, follow, see first, follow, see first, you know, as they come in. So that's basically how I massively grow my network. And I started the business with like 250 friends. I have over 4,000. I think I have like 4,100 now. And I didn't really start growing my network until last year, after I was in the business for 18 months. I'd already promoted to Presidential Diamond before I took the time to try to grow my network. And so now that's something that I teach my team to do right off the bat, because if I had just grown my network earlier, I feel like it would have been 10 times easier to literally just boom. So take the time, build the relationships in your groups, ask questions, participate. Something that I did in the very beginning is I would set alarms on my phone. So some people set alarms on their phone to remind them when to post. I set alarms on my phone in the beginning to remind me to go interact in my groups. And it was because I joined like 9 groups in one day, and I needed to go interact in all 9 of them to get my face out there. And like one of the groups I joined was the neighborhood we were living in has a page, and I went and I joined it. And what did I do? I introduced myself on there. Like, hey guys, I'm new to the neighborhood. My name is blah, 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 blah. I look forward to meeting you guys. I didn't put anything in there about It Works at all. Just, hey, I'm new. Can't wait to meet you guys. Then I get all these people commenting, hey, welcome, welcome. Glad you're in the neighborhood, all that stuff, right? There's like 50 comments on there. Then I go in and I comment, oh, by the way, I'm a distributor with It Works Global, so if you need any health and wellness products, just let me know. I got like 5 loyal customers off one post, and 2 of them are now distributors because I went in there, oh, by the way. But I didn't start it out fresh like, hey, I'm a distributor. Hi, guys. It was just something that I nonchalantly snuck in there. So that's another thing that I thought was kind of different that people don't normally do. I don't recommend throwing that in there on all your group pages. I just did it on the neighborhood one because if you read like the pinned posts on group pages, they're very anti-network marketing, sales, personal businesses, things like that. Like they don't want people who bake cakes to go in there every week and post photos of the cakes they made over the weekend. And you know what I mean? So that's not something I would recommend doing in all your pages. But like in my neighborhood page, that was something that I did. What else? Network. I had another thought and I can't remember what it was. But that's basically how I grow my network and add new friends. So as a distributor, once you start adding other It Works distributors, so like me, I have like half of you guys are probably my Facebook friends, if you're on my team or not. And so when I go to the section that says people you may know, I don't even add friends from there anymore because the people I know that I have 9 mutual friends with, chances are one of them is a distributor. Usually a couple of them are distributors that I recognize the name right off the bat. And I don't ever add friends that they have, like if I go and I look and I have 5 mutual friends with someone and one of them is my sister or one of them is Tammy or Melissa, I don't add them because chances are they've already talked to them or I don't want to be the one to steal them. You know what I mean? I like to be cautious of who I add to. And so on the section that says people you may know, I don't even add people from there anymore because I have so many mutual friends in common with them that are distributors. And 9 times out of 10, the people that are popping up are actually distributors now themselves. So it's kind of a waste of time for me to go to that section. So I build my network out of groups and building relationships in groups because then I can send friend requests and they can send me friend requests. So if you're sending friend requests on Facebook, though, you want to make sure that you're sending 25 at a time. So 25 in the morning, 25 in the evening. Anything more than 25, Facebook will flag you, and then they'll put you in Facebook jail, and you won't be able to get into your account for a couple days. So 25 is the limit. And then go from there. Be genuine. Build relationships. So when people come to you about the business, they actually are talking to a person. And then the last thing I want to touch on before Q&A is PayPal. If you guys aren't taking advantage of PayPal, you really, 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 really should. The reason being is because PayPal has this option where it's called PayPal Credit. It's 90 days, no interest. So they can sign up as a distributor through your website, use PayPal Credit as the option, borrow the $99 from PayPal, and they have 90 days to pay it back with no interest. So it's technically like borrowing $99 from your mom, and then you pay it back within your first 3 months. If you break it down, it's about $33 a month. If you break it down and they sell a wrap every month, done. If not, they sell their first 4 wraps, done. You just pay PayPal back, right? And so people don't understand that that's an option. And so whenever you get the people who are like, I want to sign up right now, but I don't have the money to do it, I give them 3 options. And so if you guys saw on my Facebook tonight, probably a couple hours ago, I put up the post that said, if you could join me for $0 and run after a $10,000 bonus, would you? And there's like 9 or 10 comments on it right now that say yes. So every one of those people I messaged, and what I told them is each one has their own little intro because I make them kind of personal to the person. But basically it says, so your $99 goes towards your license to sell and make commissions. You're also going to receive your kit, and your kit will come with 4 body wraps. Done. Here are your options. Number 1, you can sign up and then sell your skinny wraps immediately for $25 each and make your money right back. That's an option, right? You make your investment back immediately. Option 2, you can pre-sell your 4 wraps, and then I kind of explain what pre-selling is really briefly. And then option 3, you can enroll using PayPal Credit, and you have 90 days, no interest, to pay back the amount that you put on your PayPal Credit account. Basically, that breaks down to $33 a month. And then I explain to them really fast, if they sell their 4 wraps, they can pay that back immediately. So all 3 are a way to sign up and make your money back, or sign up for free, basically. And so that's where I go. And then I ask them, what option sounds best to you? 9 times out of 10, they're picking PayPal because they all have PayPal accounts, but they've never used PayPal Credit, and they don't know that it's 90 days, no interest. Had that been an option when I enrolled, I would have enrolled a week earlier because I didn't have $99 to get started. I had to go to my sister's house, pick up some stuff out of her garage, go sell it on Facebook yard sale pages, and get $99 to start. And so had that been an option, that would have been something I would have taken advantage of immediately. And PayPal Credit, you don't have to have perfect credit. You don't have to have decent credit. So these people who are really struggling and they need this business, and you can help them do it, it's an option. And so I always share the option with them. And it's something that I think is absolutely amazing that It Works has brought into our realm, because I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of people who are like, well, do you guys take PayPal? Can I use my PayPal? How come you don't take PayPal? So now that we do, those people, I'm like, hey, guess what? We take PayPal now. And I'm voice messaging all of them, right? And I even did that with my potential distributors list. That's pages and pages long. As soon as PayPal was announced, it's the first thing I did. Every one of those potential distributors, I messaged them and said, oh my gosh, Caitlin, we just rolled out PayPal and I cannot believe it. I'm so excited. Is that something that might be interesting to you, or is that something that might help you get started? You know, because a lot of people know what PayPal is, and then a lot of people don't. And so then when they're like, what's PayPal? It's a perfect opportunity to chat with them. And so when I ask them, if you could join for free, would you? Those are the 3 options I give them, because people are thinking, oh, well, pre-sell your wraps is the only way to join for free. But it's not anymore. You have another option. So you should be sharing that with your potentials, because that is something that's totally doable and something that is a huge opportunity. If you guys started without your $99, like if it was hard for you to get $99 to start with, and somebody told you you could join by paying $33 a month, and I'm going to teach you how to actually do that for free, would you have done it? Heck yeah, I would have, because I sold my 4 wraps in my kit before my kit even came in. They were sold. So that means I would have paid PayPal back immediately, and it would have been so nice. So that's something that I'm sharing with people right off the bat. Another thing that I do with potential distributors, if they turn around and tell me that they don't have the money, they can't pre-sell their 4 wraps, they don't want to do PayPal, I'll give them a couple options, like go have a garage sale, blah, blah, blah. But if they're going to sit here and give me every excuse in the book, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to sit here and make you want this more than I want it for you. So that's another thing that I do is I'm kind of a passive person with that stuff, and I fear of lost them. And I'm like, okay, well, it's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. If you figure out that you want to go ahead and give this a shot, let me know. But I'm not going to sit here and beg you to do something that you don't want to do. You either want to do this to change your life or you don't. But if I want this more than you, then there's a problem. And so that's kind of how I am. Whenever people are giving me a million excuses, I don't sit there and I don't come back and say every chance I can to come back at an excuse. I just tell them, okay, no problem. You could take a few days to think about it. You know what? If you decide this is something you want to do or you can overcome that, then let me know. I'm more than happy to work with you, but I'm not going to sit there and beg them. So, yeah. So that's what I got for you guys. I went off on a few tangents, so sorry about that. But if you have a question that you want to ask, then you can unmute yourself and ask it, and we'll do a quick Q&A. Or if you need to be unmuted, you can like flag me down and I'll unmute you. And don't be shy. Anybody? No? Is Melissa still on?
I think she left.
I think we lost her. I think she had something else to hop on too, though. She told me about something earlier.
Somebody asked in the chat if the PayPal credit worked for customers too.
I believe so. I haven't signed a customer up with PayPal credit, but I know when I shop online, for instance, I bought my son a leash today, which sounds really weird, but I bought a toddler leash today, and when I clicked to use my PayPal option, it asked me if I wanted to use PayPal credit, and that was just for like a normal purchase. So I would assume that it gives the option as well. You, as the distributor, cannot enroll someone and use their PayPal. They have to go in and sign themselves up. So as a customer or a distributor, if they want to use PayPal, they have to do it. And the best thing to do if that happens is to literally walk them through it. Tell them, okay, no worries. Go to this link and click shop at the top. Then you're going to do this, 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 and this. Check out, click PayPal. That way you literally give them step-by-step what to do. So when they get into your website, they're not like, what do I do now? You know, because some people will get it super fast, and some people who aren't technologically smart are going to sit there and get frustrated and just like forget it. So PayPal, they have to do it themselves.
I have a question that's kind of random.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like tons of DTs from other companies friend requesting me. Do you just completely ignore them? I mean, do you just let them like follow you, and then if they express any interest, just like approach them as a loyal customer, or what?
So something that I've learned, and I have it set up in my settings that way, and I'm not sure how I did it, but you can Google it, is if you get a friend request and you say no, it automatically sets them as a follower. So if you don't want to add them because you're worried that they're going to be like a poacher and take people from you, you can do that and set it up so then they can follow you, but it's kind of pointless because then they can still see all your stuff anyway as a follower. So I accept them mainly because they're potential. I mean, really, if you think about it, somebody who sells makeup might want to lose some weight. You know, just because they work for another company doesn't mean they don't want what we have. So I will add them until they do something suspicious, and then I will delete and block if I need to. But I do everything on my profile public. Everything is public on my profile. So it doesn't matter if I add them or not. They can still see all my stuff. So I usually just go ahead and add them.
Okay, because I've had like 3 girls I did a passionate post that literally copied and pasted it, didn't even change the wording to where it like was like,
oh, well, those ones I delete and block. If they're going to steal my post, my best friend from college, she was selling Plexus, and she was stealing some of my posts around Christmas time, and I love her to death, but no, she's no longer a Facebook friend because I'm sorry, even if you change the wording to match your business, you're stealing my stuff. But good question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was the pictures that you told us to delete off our Facebook in the beginning?
So those are the ones that are like, join my team. It's only $99 type stuff. So I don't know if you can see this. I'll pop it back up here. But they're like the ones that look really spammy. And they say like full-time mom.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it says full-time mom, have a part-time business with full-time pay. Ask me how. I don't remember, somebody else did a Zoom about if you have to put on there, ask me how you can get my price, or let me know if you're interested. Like, that's like the wrong stuff to post. You should never say like, let me know if you're interested, or ask me how you can get my discount. Like, you should just leave it at, this is how amazing it is. Boom. And then if they're interested, they're going to come to you. And then that way it doesn't look like a sales post. But yeah, it says stuff like that. Or I need a distributor in every state. Where are you from? Like, yeah, these are really random pictures, but basically, or like posting, one of them is like a picture of the distributor kit. And it has like the lady with blonde hair and her sunglasses and her tote bag. Like those type. Yeah. If you just Google "it works, work from home," they pop up and you'll know which ones I'm talking about. It's the same thing with like for customers. If you do that, like if you Google "it works hair, skin, and nails," if any of those photos that pop up, you should be posting. You know, it just looks really spammy, really salesy. If you're going to post about hair, skin, and nails, you're going to post like a random stock photo that you Googled long hair and find this lady with gorgeous hair that is just the back of her hair and it's gorgeous, you know? Or I'm going to post a picture of me with my hair, skin, and nails in my hand and showing it like that. My sister posts a lot about her hair and how long and thick it is. She has like crazy thick, gorgeous hair because of hair, skin, and nails. And so she's able to do that, you know? But if you don't have your own personal post about it, don't go and Google it, and don't post any of those that pop up on Google, because they're really like spammy. Same thing with any of the products, like the Fat Fighters. Like everybody posts the one about Fat Fighters, and it's like the Fat Fighters with like the piece of cake next to it, and it's like a corporate photo or something. Like it's a professional photo. It's not your photo, and people know that. They know it's not your stuff. Anybody else?
When you request a new friend, you know how you said you go to their news feed? So like you get 25 and you just click on news feed, and then they'll be the first one that you see every morning.
Yeah, so you have to go in.
New friends. And
yeah, so if you add a new friend, so I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go to a girl that I know from high school. So when you add them as a friend, it shows that they're a friend, and you have this option right here that says following. Can you guys see my phone?
Mm-hmm.
It says following. You click on following, and the options pop up on the bottom. You want to click see first.
Oh, okay.
And then say, let's do it. And then that way their stuff will pop up. I put her back to default. But their stuff will pop up first in your news feed every day. See first the people that you want to interact with.
Okay.
So, I mean, I love my top leaders to death, but if I want to see something that Melissa or Tammy posts, or Amanda, I literally have to go to their Facebook page because I don't want to see it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want their stuff in my news feed. I want to build relationships with new people. So if I want to see something that Tammy posts, I got to go to Tammy's page because it's not ever going to pop up in my news feed. No offense, Tammy.
I see it. All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Mama Murdoch, do you have a question? Oh, I can't hear you. I unmuted you, but it's not letting me hear you. I'm not very Zoom smart, so I could be doing something wrong. Anybody else have anything they want to add? They want to ask? If not, then we will hop off because I've already used over an hour of your time.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you said about the PayPal, and it's like they have 90 days to pay it up. Now, do they pay a little bit every month, or do they pay it all at the end of the 90 days?
Whatever they want to do. It's 90 days, no interest. So I think they have the option to pay it all at the end, or they can do a little bit per month. When I do it, when I'm talking to somebody and they sign up with PayPal, I'm teaching them to sell their wraps and use that money to pay it back.
Okay.
Instead of using that for gas and stuff.
I have several that have no money.
Yeah. So I'm teaching them, yeah, you can sign up with PayPal, but we don't want you to get into debt. So we want you to sell your 4 wraps to pay back the 99 after you sell your wraps. Like that's basically how I'm telling it to them.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Are we
Does
good?
that require, like a credit approval or anything to sign up for it, or everybody just gets it?
I think everybody just gets it. I think if you try to use it for more than $500, then it's going to do a credit approval. But as far as I know, when I enrolled for PayPal credit 2 years ago, is when the first time I tried it, it didn't run my credit.
Okay.
So, but again, it was for less than, it was like a $200 purchase. So I'm thinking if it's up to 500. I had one enroll the other day and she did a boost on hers and it didn't check her credit. Oh. Awesome. Okay, last call for questions and then I'm going to stop it. Going once. Going twice. I'm checking the chat real quick. Aw, thanks, Amy. Thanks, Jessica. You guys are awesome. Yep, Tammy. Don't see a ton of it work stuff. Okay, perfect. All right, well, if you guys have any questions later on or need anything, just shoot me a message. I get to them all by the end of the day at some point. So if you need anything, just let me know. I'm going to have this recording. I'll send it to Melissa and the other leaders so they can share it with you guys to share with your teams if you want to. But thank you so much for hopping on. I'm really glad that I got to share this with you guys. I figured if I'm going to teach my team how to do something, I might as well teach to everybody who wants to hear it. So if you need anything, let me know. If not, have a great night. And thanks for hopping on, guys.